Trail runners, welcome back to Chasing Gold Black Canyon Edition. We are back in the desert. We are following some of the front runners looking to get themselves one of those 2 golden tickets into the Western States Endurance Run. And we have got a speed demon with us today. Today to the show, we welcome Makai Clemons. Makai has just missed the ticket by 1 spot last year at the Black Canyon 100K. He's got a win at the Javelina 100K. He's got most recently a 2nd place finish at JFK 532 flying and a 3rd at Mammoth Trail Fest. Makai runs with Dry Max socks and Squirrels Nut Butter. Makai Clemons, welcome to the show.
Hey Scott, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's dive right in. Makai, you are in San Diego. Tell us a little bit about it. What are you doing there? What's going on in your daily life?
Yeah, so I came out to San Diego a few years ago with the Marines, and after getting out, I decided to settle out down here. Now I'm just going to school full time, and at some point I wanted to move back to the mountains, and then I've seen everyone getting plowed with snow lately, and I'm pretty excited that it's 60, 70 degrees and sunny every day.
Oh, heck yes. That's great. And what are you studying in school?
So right now, kinesiology with the goal to be a physical therapist.
Cool. Let's dive into the training. I had a chance to peep at some of your training, and it looks like it's going pretty well. Volume's high, workouts going well. Why don't you walk us through what does the training look like maybe after JFK? Again, amazing run there, but what does it look like after JFK coming into Black Canyon?
Sure. So after JFK, I took a week or 2 down, and then kind of the fitness carried over pretty well, and I was able to just kind of build off of it and tweak my training more towards the course of Black Canyon. So yeah, training's gone really well. Maybe a little higher volume than I anticipated, but I'm feeling really good and really strong. So
nice.
I'm good.
And like I said, I mean, you were 1 spot off a ticket last year. You've ran a 2nd place finish at the Black Canyon 60K, so you are familiar with the course. What pieces about knowing the course help you? Like, what did you learn last year? Is there anything different that you're going to try to do this year than last year? Be it fueling, hydrating, or pacing, anything like that. Like, how do you learn from last year's experience and try to improve this year?
Yeah, so I mean, last year was my first, I guess, really ultra in like over 4 years. So it felt brand new to me. So, I mean, I just learned a lot from pacing, fueling, cooling off. I'm more confident now, so that's, I think, going to be a huge factor. Yeah, I've been able to train on the course a little bit when I did live in Flagstaff, and then I think when I did the 60K, it was like the muddy out and back year.
Oh, yeah.
Not too much of an advantage there. Yeah, last year, definitely just learned a lot that I'm going to kind of take into this year to hope kind of give me a good advantage.
Sure. And let's talk about like how the day unfolds. Obviously, you are a pretty quick athlete. We know Black Canyon goes out pretty quick. You have that road section for 2 or 3 miles, and athletes like to really burn it up there. Are you someone that's going to stay in that lead pack? Are you going to run your own race? How does that look strategy-wise?
I think I'll go off of feel. It is hard kind of letting a lead pack go. I think like at JFK, I let the lead pack go about halfway on the trail section, and thankfully I was able to catch up on most people. So that does give me a lot of confidence, knowing that, hey, maybe I can let people go because it's going to be almost an 8-hour race.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think if it goes out hot, I don't know, whatever feels good at the time.
Sure. And what about the fueling and hydration? Is this something that stays pretty race to race? It's the same. Will you use the same strategy you used at JFK, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so I finally felt like I got it down pretty well at some point last summer. So I do about maybe 350, 400 calories an hour, most of that through drink mix. And then kind of learned to try to hit a goal hydration-wise early on. And then later on in the race, I'll just kind of drink off of thirst. But yeah, kind of keep it pretty consistent with drink mix and gels. And if anything looks good at the aid stations later on.
Sure. Yeah, I think I saw a lot of athletes last year, and I think they did get a little bit behind in fluids, and we saw a lot of them dropping at Black Canyon, which is common. I think people see, obviously the race starts, it's cool in the morning, but you have that, I mean, you're familiar with it in San Diego. That sun gets out there, it's dry, you're sweating more than you think, and I think a lot of people just don't pay attention enough to hydration early on that fun downhill section. It's good to hear you have a plan for it. Set yourself up for success later. And what will you carry? We carry 2 bottles, 1 bottle, 3 bottles. How does that look?
2 bottles, and it'll be both drink mix for probably the first half, and then I'll probably do 1 bottle of mix and 1 bottle of water for the second half.
Sure. My little experience on this course, I ran it once. Coming out of things I would do differently. I know coming out of Black Canyon City, I didn't have a crew. But if I was to go back this year and I had a crew, I would consider a 3rd bottle at that point. Just thinking, it's the hot part of the day. You have 8.8 miles. And I feel like it was getting pretty toasty last year. You were out there. What do you think? Were you running out between late in the race? Were you running out of your bottles before you got to aid?
Yeah, I actually made a really big mistake last year at Black Canyon City. I kind of tried to just rush through the aid station. So this year I'm going to make sure to chug a bunch of water with some electrolytes and cool off. But yeah, I left with 2 bottles of water and not drinking in the aid station. I drank almost all of one in the first mile, and then I fell and broke my other bottle. So I did the rest of that section with no water.
Oh.
So yeah, this year, not making that mistake. And yeah, 3rd bottle might not be a bad idea for that section.
Yeah, I knew I ran out pretty halfway through the section and had a couple miles to go without it and wish I had one. So yeah, it's worth considering. At least that point that you just made is a great point for your own race day strategy that I would be thinking coming into Black Canyon. Take a deep breath, right? Black Canyon City, take a deep breath. Make sure you take that extra 5, 10, 15 seconds and get what you need, because that's one of the longest sections on course without aid, and it is pretty roller coaster. You get the climb, a descent, and another climb. So stay hydrated out there. We're rooting for you.
Yeah.
Cool. And all right, let's talk about another sport. You said you got into running because it was the sport that will allow you to surf the most in school. That is cool. And are you still surfing? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I haven't been surfing as much lately with kind of high volume, but the less I'm running, the more I'm surfing. So I guess I'll go into a little background of that story. So I started surfing elementary school, and it was I played some other sports, but really that was the only thing I wanted to do. And then going into high school, my parents said, you have to do a team sport for the school. And our school had a surf club, and I was like, oh, I'll join the surf club. And they're like, well, no, that doesn't count because it they didn't compete and stuff like that. So I was kind of looking, and I was like, okay, well, there's football and cross country in the fall, and that's kind of maybe when the waves weren't the best where I lived. And as soon as those seasons ended, the waves got good. So I was like, okay, I'll do one of those. And initially I was thinking football, but they had practice all summer and cross country didn't, and I didn't want to not be able to surf all summer, so that's why I chose cross country.
Oh,
and then
love it.
I ran it my freshman year, didn't run again until my sophomore year, and my sophomore year is when I started enjoying it more. My dad started taking me on trails. So yeah.
Cool. And did you consider running for the university for school?
Yeah, so I walked onto the NAU team my freshman year. Ran a couple of the local cross-country races in Arizona. And then I got hurt for track season. And then I was just kind of, I don't know, living in Flagstaff, I just wanted to run the mountains. That's what I did in high school all summer. So stepped away from the team, and that's kind of when I got into ultras.
Cool. That's a good story. I love it. And at this race, will you be using crew? Are you coming solo? Do you have a plan for them?
Yeah, I have a pretty big crew coming. So my partner will be kind of my main crew. And then my mom's flying in, and then have a couple other friends and family. So I'll have like 2 or 3 main crew people, and then people supporting, and then also have pacers this year. So
Nice.
nice.
All right, and walk us through what's going on in your head. 60 seconds to go till the race is about to start. That track is packed. There's people bobbing up and down. What are you doing? What's going on in your head? How does that all look?
Ooh, I think just ready to start. I think like the nerves leading into it is kind of the most, nervous. Really just wanting to start the race and really like mentally preparing for a really hard day is kind of what I usually focus on.
Sure. And do you mentally break down the race into pieces? First, third, second, third, anything like that?
I try to take it either by crew stations or just by aid station, although I definitely would get in my own head like, oh my gosh, I have, 40 more miles to go, or how long is it going to take me if I walk the last 20 miles?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure those thoughts will come in, but yeah.
Cool. All right, Makai, we are going to hop into the 10-question fast-paced fartlek round. Are you ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. Question number 1, what shoes will you be wearing in the Black Canyon 100K?
The Hoka Tectons.
Nice. Great shoe. How about first ultra marathon, and when was it?
First ultra was Black Canyon 60K in 2017.
Woo! And a second place. Well done on the first showing. All right, you get to pick the song at Mayer High School. What is your walkout song gonna be?
Maybe do Thunderstruck.
Nice.
Or some Kesha. I don't know. One of those two. Kind of different, but both fun.
All right, question 4. Black Canyon is notoriously hot or cold and rainy. If you had to choose very hot or very rainy, what are you going with?
Hot.
I
don't like the cold.
All right, we got a fun one for you here. Guilty pleasure. You are in the supermarket. What guilty pleasure ends up in your shopping cart every week?
Ooh. I would say 2 things, and when I'm not training a lot, it's maybe guilty pleasure. When I'm training, it's necessity. I would say Pop-Tarts, and Trader Joe's has these like ice cream cookie sandwiches. So it's like chocolate chip cookies and vanilla ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 2 of my favorite things. So
I'm
it's
familiar.
a staple.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. What is the first word that comes to mind when I say Black Canyon 100K?
I don't know.
Give me something.
Can you redo that one?
We can redo it
And
at
then
the
is it
end.
out?
We'll come
Okay.
back. All right. Race day superstitions. Do you have any?
I don't know if it's a superstition, but I always have to at least try to poop twice.
Nice. I think that's everyone's superstition.
Yeah.
All right. If it's sunny, are you going shades or no shades?
Shades.
Got to go with the shades. Love it.
Yeah.
How about secret weapon in the second half of a race? Any secret weapons you're hiding up your sleeve, be it caffeine or a special product or some memento you're hanging on to?
I'm going to do a Red Bull Honey Stinger combo at Black Canyon City.
Love it. Well, that's the best
Yeah.
secret weapon I've heard so far. I might have
It
to
gives
use
me, it always gives me a really big boost.
I
So
might have to use this myself. All right, toughest question of the day, putting you on the spot. What place are you finishing the Black Canyon 100K in?
Oh man. Well, I'm hoping to keep up the trajectory of my last few races and win. But I mean,
Love
it's such
it.
a deep field that anything can happen. So
We
yeah,
love it.
hopefully first.
First place, you heard it here. Makai Clemons, thank you so much for coming on the show. We will see you in the desert at Black Canyon 100K.